The following is a live sports presentation on Glycod.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school basketball starts now.
As these two rivals get together, Frederick Douglass and Henry Clay. Here's the opening tip. There's a steal by Cohen. Under for the slam. Oakley will take it. And there it is. Harris Kaysen. Surratt for the dunk. Hemingway nails it. There's another one. Stefan.
Everybody's giving their all. But that young man plays all over the floor.
Hemingway nails the three, and we're tied.
Tonight, we made some big shots down the stretch. That's how we climb back in it.
Just 1 second left on the clock. And Henry Clay is in front. And Henry Clay has won it 65-63. Well, that was the scene 3 weeks ago at Henry Clay High School as the Blue Devils, playing in front of the home crowd, registered a big comeback win over Frederick Douglass, 65-63. But tonight they meet in a rematch at Douglass High School, and we'll see what happens tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keith Elkins, along with Nimbo Hammonds, former Bryan Station and George Washington University basketball star and a longtime coach. And Nimbo, this is a great rematch because we saw an outstanding game there at Henry Clay 3 weeks ago. And tonight Douglass will be looking to even the score.
Yes, sir. You know, especially when you lose such a close one. And, you know, they had the game in their hand at first. But Henry Clay made some great plays down the stretch that put them over the top.
Let's talk about some of the outstanding players that we'll see tonight. First of all, for the visiting Henry Clay Blue Devils, they have been led all year by Jackson Stephan, who's headed for Air Force to play his college basketball, 20 points, 10 rebounds a game, and he does a little bit of everything for Coach Daniel Brown.
Well, you know, that's what you call a utility guy. That's what we call him. You know, if you need a bucket in the paint, he can post up. He can shoot the mid-range, and he can also shoot the long ball. And if you need him to run the point for you, he can do that as well.
He can as well. And, of course, he's not doing it alone, and one player in particular that has stepped up in support is the transfer from Berea, Jack Hemingway, a 6'3 senior. He is an outstanding shooter, and he can be a real weapon out there.
Well, here's what you have with him. You have a second guy who could easily be your first guy. So when you have somebody, a combo like that, hey, you got to pick your poison when you pick them.
Well, DeMarcus Surratt has led the way for Douglass this year, and a great player on his way to Bellarmine to play college basketball. And he also is a guy who can do it all. A good touch from outside, can drive to the basket, a great leaper. And Coach Murray Garvin, and we'll hear from him in just a few moments, but he has challenged his star player to give him a little more than he gave at Henry Clay, and they need him to do that.
Yeah, we talked about that. When you're a star player, you know, when you got a bullseye on your back, you got to understand you're going to be at the top of the scouting report every game. So you have to find ways to help your team, sometimes without scoring.
And backup for Surratt, among others, has been the football star at Douglass, Dakari Talbert, and he is an outstanding basketball player as well. So now we're just seeing his speed and strength and leaping ability and a good shooting touch from him in basketball. He's really contributed, and he has really begun to hit his stride as a basketball player.
Well, he surprised me most, as far as shooting the ball, because we know he's going to defend you 94 feet. He's going to push the ball and get them out in transition. But now hitting that three-point shot, he's now becoming something totally different than I imagined that he could be.
It should be a good one tonight. Henry Clay at Frederick Douglass, and we'll have more on our pregame show coming up, including comments from both coaches. We'll hear the game plans and the starting lineups before we get underway tonight on Glycod.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
At Man O' War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man O' War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Get started by finding the program that works for you at bluegrass.kctcs.edu. Bluegrass Community and Technical College. College for your world.
Talking with Henry Clay coach Daniel Brown. And, Coach, tonight it's part two of the rivalry with Douglas. Your team got a great 2-point win in the first one at Henry Clay about 3 weeks ago. What did you take from that one? I mean, there were swings back and forth during the game, but what did you take from that one you could build on?
Well, I just think what we've done is we continue to play better. We've gotten better each week, and that was a big win for us. Hold home court in the district standing. So, Douglas is a really good team. Murray does a great job, and they've always been up there since day one, top 5 in the state. So what we took from it just showed our group that we can be one of those teams as well.
One of the things I remember from that game is you called an early timeout in that one to settle your team down just a bit. Of course, Douglas comes at you with a lot of pressure, but what do you recall about that timeout and the importance of it and getting your team settled down and ready to go?
Well, I think with the kind of an inexperienced team, that was just, I don't know if I did anything, but just kind of, get them to settle in a little bit and just, get your mind right and all those things. Don't, start believing in yourself. Just more of a pump up type timeout than any change.
You've had some close games this year, and some ones recently, especially, and including the game against Douglas. Of course, no two games are alike. You might have players in foul trouble or something, so the situations could be different. But in general, what do you try to tell a team when you come down to the last few minutes of a close game and you've got a situation where you have a timeout, as may well happen tonight?
Yeah, well, as a coach, all you want to be is have a chance to win those last 2 minutes. If you're in have a chance, and then it comes down to executing. And this time of year, most teams are a practicing situation. So hopefully the practice, pays off. And a lot of times in games like this, it comes down, it ain't really your best player that actually makes, the difference. A lot of times it's them role players that, can step up. So for tonight, we're going to need a total team effort to try to go over and beat them, who I know they're going to be ready after getting beat over here. So we just got to go over there and kind of match their intensity and see what happens.
And speaking of best players, of course, Jackson Steffen has been your leader all along, and he is having a great season for you. We've talked about him on numerous occasions, but I wanted to ask you about Jack Hemingway as well, one of the transfers who came in this year. He's really put out some good numbers with his shooting. He really gives you a good weapon and a different type of weapon in addition to Jackson Steffen, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jack has done more than just he's come over here. What a great kid to coach, a leader, one of our captains to, transfer in and just kind of buy into everything. And he's kind of put his mark on our team and as one of our, our second leading scorer. And he has a knack of getting to the rim and scoring, which, he went over 1,000 points for his career. He didn't score his 1,000 points here, but he has 1,000-point score. So to his credit, I got 2,000 point scores. That's my teams don't have that, and we feel lucky that he had an opportunity to come up here. So we've been blessed, and he's been a big pickup.
You've touched on this before, but what about the challenges in facing Douglas? How would you describe them as just in general what they present as an opponent, as a challenge?
You mentioned it. It's just their pressure. They can really get after you sometimes when they're going. If you're not strong with the basketball, and that creates opportunities in transition. They're so athletic. That's how they can score. So our job is kind of get the pace where we had it last time, slow it down a little bit, make it a half-court game with them. But it's easier said than done. So they're definitely type of team defensive. If they want to get after you and create turnovers, they're able to do that.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. We're looking forward to it. Good luck tonight.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
We'll be right back on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Make a bold impression when you show up in a new Kia from Cardtown Kia.
Save $4,250 off a new 2024 Kia Sorento, or lease for $279 down and $279 per month. And new 2024 Kia Fortes, just $229 down and $229 per month. Or save more with rates as low as 0.9%.
And don't forget our 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Give them something to talk about in a new Kia from Cardtown Kia and CardtownKiaUSA.com.
Communication is really important on a team because you have to know what everybody's doing, even when it's not your job. You just really want to work as one unit, and whenever you can do that, the team is at its best. I think staying active helps me to be my best self by keeping me disciplined. Being able to look back whenever I go to bed at night, checking all the things off that I've done that day, it creates the best me. My name is Trent Noah, and I'm better without it.
With Fast Signs, create striking custom visuals that inspire pride district-wide. Fast Signs, make your statement.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, getting ready for game time. Frederick Douglass and Henry Clay tonight. I'm Keith Elkins. Nimbo Hammond's alongside. Scott Moore is our producer, and Leslie Moore is our camera operator for tonight. It's a tight race in the 42nd district of the 11th region. Douglass on top right now with a mark of 4 wins and 1 loss. Then Bryan Station, Henry Clay, and Scott County all at 3-2, and then Sayre at 0-6. So a ways to go before this district race is decided. Let's take a look now at tonight's game plan. It's built by Elite Building Products in Nicholasville. They're the right decision for your home. Nimbo, let's take a look at the visitors first, the Henry Clay game plan.
Well, control the glass and limit second chances for Frederick Douglass because they like to get out. Also, they have to protect the ball and slow Douglass in transition. If they can do that, they give themselves a chance. And then also make perimeter shots. if they make their perimeter shots, it opens up for the drive to get into the paint for Stephen.
That's the Henry Clay game plan. And what about Coach Murray Garvin's Douglas team tonight?
Well, contain Stephen without over-helping. If you can get somebody solid on him and just so they don't have to help a lot, that'll help them close out on their shooters. Also defend the three-point line. If they defend the three-point line and push those guys off and turn them into drivers, they give themselves a chance. And also attack early. If they can get out in transition and get easy buckets, it goes their way most of the time.
Douglas with the home court advantage tonight. We saw a 2-point win for Henry Clay at their place. And, of course, this is the first time Douglas has been at home to play a basketball game in about a month now. January 13th was their last home game. They got a dramatic win over Bryan Station that night. But what a winter it's been with all the interruptions due to weather and a little bit of a chaotic schedule. But I'm sure the Douglas fans will be ready to go tonight and give their team an edge if they can in this one.
Well, adversity, sometimes is needed to give your team just a twist, how to work through something. And being on the road is not a bad thing because you playing in somebody else's gym, so you have to give your all every night. So coming home sometimes feels the greatest.
Well, the Douglas is the home team tonight taking on Henry Clay, and we're looking forward to seeing this when this broadcast is authorized by Frederick Douglass High School with production rights owned by Glycod. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all participating student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. We'll have more on our pregame show, including the comments of Douglas coach Murray Garvin, coming up in just a moment on Glycod.
At Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Talking with Frederick Douglass coach Murray Garvin. And Coach, we are coming up on the big rematch now after Henry Clay got a 2-point win on their home court against you 3 weeks ago. But what do you take from a game like that, especially as you prepare for this rematch?
Well, I told our guys yesterday I kind of want my lick back, Keith. Anytime we play against Henry Clay, they're such a well-coached team. They got a really dynamic player in Jackson Steffen. To me, is one of the most underrated players in the state of Kentucky. He can flat out play. He plays both ends. He rebounds. He scores. He can shoot. He plays the game at a very high level. We got to match his intensity level, and we just got to be better for 4 quarters against this scrappy Henry Clay team.
You've had several close games lately, including that one against Henry Clay, and have come out on top a couple of times, come out on the short side a couple of times. But do you see your team learning from these close ball games that you've been playing?
Yeah, we've been learning. We just got to now apply what we're learning. There's not a game that we don't watch film afterwards and review the good and the bad. I think over the course of the season, we've had 9 games decided by 1 point or less, 1 possession. And we've come out on the good end of that, and we've come out on the short end of that. But during the regular season, you learn. And I tell them we don't very rarely lose games. We learn from games. We win and we learn. So tonight, like I said, I hope that we can apply what we've learned from the first matchup. But I also expect some new wrinkles by Coach Brown this second time around. He's won over 400 or 500 games for a reason. And he's one of the most respectable coaches in Kentucky, and you have to be prepared when you play as ball clubs.
We had a chance to talk a little earlier, and you mentioned about challenging DeMarcus Surratt, who is your leading scorer and is certainly a great player and on his way to a college career. But occasionally a coach has to do that, doesn't he? Demand a little more of the leader on the team. How do you go about doing that, and what kind of a player is he to respond to that?
Well, early in my career, I was taught that you have to coach your best player the hardest. And DeMarcus has always stepped up to the challenge. I kind of made it a little bit personal for him yesterday coming into this game. I thought he played one of his worst games over there at Henry Clay. Just seemed very passive, really not into the flow of the game. And tonight, I look forward to him stepping up to the challenge.
How would you analyze the matchup between the two teams? Maybe take the rivalry part out, but just how do these two teams match up?
Well, they match up because Henry Clay is a very efficient team. Several guys can shoot the ball from the perimeter. They're not very athletic, but they do what they're good at, and they don't try to do what they're not good at. So our job is to get them out of their comfort zone, try to get them off the three-point line, and 2s for them are different than 3s. I thought the first matchup, they probably made a record number of 3s on the season against us, and that's what we got to prohibit them from doing.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on Glycon.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
At Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Your road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Kentucky Army National Guard. Uncommon is calling.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, getting ready for game time tonight. Frederick Douglass and Henry Clay. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family. For the visiting Henry Clay Blue Devils, it'll be Jackson Steffen, number 1, a 6'4 senior, their leading scorer and rebounder, 20 points, 10 rebounds a game. He'll be joined in the lineup by a 6'4 freshman, number 4, Alan Dixon, and also number 15, Jalen Hill, a 6-foot freshman. And a senior, 6'3 senior Jack Hemingway, averaging 14 points a ball game, and also 5'9 senior Ricky Goatley. He'll wear number 5, 8 points, 2.5 rebounds a game. The Blue Devils are coached by Daniel Brown in his 20th season. For Frederick Douglass tonight, their starting lineup includes their leading scorer at 20 points a game, DeMarcus Surratt. He'll wear number 3, 6'3 senior, and he'll be joined by Tate Robinson, number 13, a 6'3 senior. Thurman Wade, number 0, a 6'2 senior. Nate Cohen wears number 12. He's a 6'6 senior. And Dakari Talbert, number 4, a 5'10 junior, who had a 22-point game against Madison Central. We are just about set to go. Glad you've joined us for this one on Glycod. Henry Clay and Frederick Douglass in a rematch after the Blue Devils captured a real thriller over to Henry Clay 3 weeks ago, 65-63. And the tip is controlled by Douglass, and DeMarcus Surratt has it, gives it off to Talbert, and the Broncos will have the first possession of the ball game. There's Tate Robinson, 13, and now back out in front, it's Dakari Talbert. Tries to sneak the bounce pass in there to Wade, but it is on the end line, and the turnover gives it over to Henry Clay.
Looked like a good set, though. It just happened to step out of bounds.
Well, we'll see what Douglass does on defense now as Henry Clay comes up on its first possession. Ricky Goatley is number 5, and there's Hemingway. They try to go inside. Steffen's open for the layup.
You know, they're going to have to do a better job on that in the post. That was a little too easy for Steffen.
Surratt driving, has it taken away. Goatley tried to go across the middle and goes back out of bounds to Douglass. I thought Coach Garvin's comments were very interesting about trying to keep Henry Clay from doing what they like to do and force them out of their comfort zone. That's going to be really important for them, isn't it?
Well, here's the good thing about that, though, is I think as a coach, you always try to do your opponents that way. But the good thing about Henry Clay and Daniel Brown, he's seen a little bit of everything. So,
veteran coaches on both sides tonight. Nice drop-in left-hander by Nate Cohen, a 6'6 senior. Score tied at 2 in the very early going. Henry Clay in the light blue uniforms. Douglass in white tonight, playing at the Farm here at Frederick Douglass High School. Ball's tapped away as it goes inside. Now back outside to Steffen. He's got shooting range too, so they have to watch him wherever he is on the court.
Henry Clay being patient.
Goatley a drive, tried to drop it off in there. Comes back out to Hemingway, lets it go and hits it for a 3. Jack Hemingway can do that. He's a 37% three-point field goal shooter on the year, and he puts Henry Clay up 5-2.
You know, they've been really patient in the half court.
And the dish for the dunk by Cohen. Cohen with the dunk. Nice pass from Surratt to set him up.
Seems like they're getting Cohen involved early. He has the first 4 points for them.
Goatley a jumper. And the rebound to Thurman Wade of Douglas. Broncos in a hurry. Here comes Dakari Talbert. Got it to Cohen, spinning left-hander. Doesn't go this time, and Steffen saves the rebound into Goatley. Now out of the corner, it's Hemingway again. A little short with this one. Tate Robinson for Douglas. Ahead to Wade, looking for room on the baseline. Now Robinson has some. Reverse layup doesn't go, but the follow is good by Wade.
I think both teams right now are really, really looking well. They're running their offense. They're being crisp. I think it's going to come down to who gets the most stops.
6-5 the score. Douglas on top. Short jumper by Goatley. Karam's out of there. Wade fires away from long range. Cohen way up for it. Sticks in the follow. Quick start for Nate Cohen. 6 points for him. He averages 7.5 a game. 5 rebounds. 8-5 Douglas. Jackson Steffen picked up by Cohen. Backs into the lane, fall away jumper. Rebound off to Robinson.
I would like to see Henry Clay crash the offensive glass a little bit.
Surratt, a strong move to the basket.
Yes.
He puts it in. That makes it 10-5, and Henry Clay is going to take a timeout with 4:23 to go in the first quarter. A 5-point margin for Douglas. We'll be right back on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
(10-5), quick start for Douglas, Nimbo, and Cohen has been a big part of that.
Well, you know, it starts off by their transition. They've been getting out in it early, and Cohen's really active early today, and it looks good because it gives them a post presence.
10-5 Broncos as Goatley brings it into offensive court for Henry Clay. Down the perimeter, long one by Goatley is good.
I think he needs to have a strong game today to give Henry Clay a better chance at, you know, pulling this out. He has to have a strong one.
There's a steal inside by Alan Dixon away from Surratt. The three-pointer a moment ago closed the gap to 10-8. Now the ball out of bounds off of Goatley, and it'll go back to Frederick Douglass. Well, we saw in that first game, Daniel Brown had to call an early timeout to settle his team down a little bit, and did so again tonight after Douglas jumped out to that 5-point lead, so that can be of great help sometimes.
Well, I think, you know, being a good coach, sometimes you got to know how to just give your team a little shove sometimes to get them going.
Mm-hmm. Douglas by 2, short jumper. Robinson's got it.
The one thing I think that Frederick Douglass is doing, they're getting a lot of shots around that rim. They're trying to get into the paint and, you know, short jumpers.
Isaiah Brown in the game for Henry Clay, as is Colton Helton. Here's the jumper by Hemingway. Long rebound. Surratt has it. Contested by Goatley, but got it to Talbert. Into the lane. Pass deflected out of bounds. It'll go back to Douglas. And now another substitution for the Broncos. Terry Kaysen into the ball game, replacing Cohen. And also Jimmy Dick into the ball game, a 6'1 junior. He showed us some three-point range in that first game between these two teams.
They have an assortment of weapons.
Short jumper off the baseline right there for Robinson. 14-8 Douglas. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Over the right side, that drive by Stephen cut off, but then the long one by Helton won't go.
It's good offense. You got your shot. Just got to stop the ball in early. You have to stop the ball a little earlier than that. They letting Douglas get too deep.
Yeah, Wade took it in there, got fouled. Isaiah Brown with the foul. First on the team in this first quarter. Wade's free throw is off the mark. Wade, a 57% free throw shooter on the season. Gets ready for try number 2. He could put the Broncos up by 7. Herman Wade, 6'2" junior, sinks the second free throw.
It kind of looked like the start of the last game. You know, Henry Clay got off to a slow start, like you said earlier, and Douglas really getting at it. But we'll see how the quarter goes, how it sees from here.
Daniel Impiana in the ball game, number 11 in white for Douglas. 6-foot senior. Had an 11-point game against North Laurel back in late December. Driving is Hemingway. Now Goatley from long range again. Bounces off, and Surratt is way up to claim that one. In a hurry the other way, takes it all the way. Has it knocked out at the last second, but that'll be a foul. Well, Surratt was not to be denied that time.
He put it in overdrive to get down that floor. The one thing that I'm noticing about Henry Clay tonight is they're not stopping the ball. And the transition game of Douglas is really getting them down the floor and getting in that paint.
Here's Surratt at the line, and that one kicks out of there. 68% free throw shooter on the year, DeMarcus Surratt. Second try is right there, and it's an 8-point Douglas lead. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bounce pass inside, and there's the layup by Steffen. And the pass from Hemingway, or from Helton. And some lights just went off over the court. We're going to have to stop play to correct that. That might be something as simple as somebody leaned on the light switch over there.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be having any kind of facilities issue. And unfortunately, around Fayette County, there are some schools that are dealing with some facilities issues that have caused the change in location for some of the games coming up after this stretch of terrible weather, or long-lasting weather. Here's a drive by Impiana, puts it up going by too hard. Henry Clay down by 6. Barrett Goodwin, number 21 in blue in the game for Henry Clay. There's the fall away by Steffen, not there. Rebound that goes ahead to Impiana. Missed the layup. He got out behind the defense but couldn't finish. Now the Blue Devils have it.
I think right now Henry Clay's like, it's like Daniel Paul.
He's going to get another try, and this time he is fouled by Steffen as they went to the basket. Well, Impiana got right back down there for another layup. Now he'll go to the line.
I don't know. I'm trying to. Henry Clay has been on a good run the last 4 or 5 games, and I'm not seeing that intensity coming into this game. Hopefully that'll change sometime soon, to give them a better look.
Free throw by Impiana. 6-foot senior. Averaging just a couple of points a game, but does see regular action off the Douglas bench. Hits them both. It's now 18-10. Here's Cohen back in the ball game along with Talbert for Frederick Douglass.
Henry Clay needs to run their sets and get a good look at this, at the basket this possession.
Near steal by Cohen. Instead, a long one is good by Goodwin. 3-pointer.
And that's what Henry Clay will do. You think they're out of it, and then they'll make a couple of big plays and be right back in the game.
They made 8 threes in that earlier meeting. Of course, won the game by 2 points. Those threes were a big part of things for Henry Clay in the first matchup. Driving as Robinson got underneath. Out to the corner it goes, and the three-point try from there is good. That is by Kaysen. 20 seconds to go first quarter. The Douglas lead back up to 8 after the three-pointer. The answer by Kaysen. Six seconds. Steffen's going to have to go with it. And it knocked away, but a whistle and a foul. First foul on Frederick Douglass goes against Dakari Talbert. Goatley in for Paris for Henry Clay. Just 1.7. Here's the ball in the corner. Steffen fires, and it hits the top of the board. No good, and we've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Frederick Douglass 21 and Henry Clay 13. Back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment on Glycod.
Road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Keith Elkins, Nimbo Hammonds at Frederick Douglass High School. The Broncos lead Henry Clay 21-13 after one. Nimbo, what are your thoughts on that first quarter?
Well, you know, Frederick Douglass came out really trying to home in, and they were pushing that ball, trying to get a lot of easy baskets, and we saw that. I don't think Henry Clay kind of matched the intensity early. Just kind of looked lackadaisical. They didn't look to play with that much intensity.
Blue Devils will have it first as we start the second quarter of play. 21-13 lead for Frederick Douglass on the board right now. A different defensive look. Had a clock problem?
Yes, sir.
Officiating crew tonight, Raymond Lightfoot, David Hammond, and Troy Buckner.
This is a little different seeing Douglass in the zone.
Yes. Goodwin bounced it back out to Helton. There goes Goatley, found a gap in there. Fall away jump shot not there, but rebound comes off, and Douglass on the attack now. And the drive and the layup by Talbert.
They seem just to have a little bit more energy tonight.
Now it's a 10-point Douglass lead. Of course, they'll respect Henry Clay's ability to come back, too, as we saw in the earlier game. Douglass had a double-digit lead in that one as well.
You know, and it looks like, you know, Coach Brown is going to his bench early just to try to find a spark. You know, that's what we do sometimes as coaches.
Put back by Helton. Cuts the lead by 2. And Surratt had it taken away. Here comes Goatley. 1-on-2. He'll go into the lane, finds an opening there. Missed the shot, and the rebound to Kaysen.
Great shot, just didn't make the bucket.
And the lob to Surratt.
You know, that's the one thing that Douglass would do to you. They'll run it down your throat if you let them. So we talked about earlier that Henry Clay not stopping the ball. That has to be an adjustment.
Here's a long one from outside, just short by Steffen. And the rebound goes to Talbert. Douglas comes up quickly, as they usually do. Talbert down the lane, hands it off, and Cohen jams it home. 8 points for Cohen. Timeout, Henry Clay. That comes with 6:13 to go in the second quarter. The Douglas lead is 12. It's 27-15. We'll be right back on Glycod.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Frederick Douglass, as expected, trying to push that ball when they have an opportunity. And they had a break that resulted in the jam by DeMarcus Surratt. Good pass, good jam, and now the Broncos on top, 27-15, and they are doing the things that they like to do.
Well, and you can't let this crowd start getting into it. So Henry Clay, hopefully after the timeout, will make some adjustments.
6:11 to go in the second quarter. 27-15 the score.
Ooh. Just slipped that.
Tried to go back underneath with it. Picked off. They had the pass to Surratt. That one a little bit too long. Couldn't gather that one in, and Henry Clay will get it back. But they were wanting to get out on the run.
It doesn't take them long. Just one dribble and it's off.
Goatley brings it up on the walk and now starts into the offense. Steffen along the line. He's had trouble finding room to operate. That one out of bounds. It'll go back to Douglas.
Well, when you're having nights like this with Henry Clay, and I like what Coach Brown is doing, he's trying different players to try to find a spark to get them going. And it's still early in the game, too. Sometimes you have to just search until you get it.
Talbert for Douglas. Goes all the way to the baseline, but lost the handle on it. It'll go back to Henry Clay after the turnover. There's Tate Robinson back in the ball game for Frederick Douglass. Kaysen goes out. Murray Garvin in his second season at Douglas, a 38-11 record. Of course, he's a veteran college coach, coached for years at South Carolina State, and was his conference, the MEAC Conference Coach of the Year at one point during that tenure.
Yes, a very knowledgeable man.
Yeah, so two veteran coaches, and for Daniel Brown, he's in his 20th season at Henry Clay. First foul on Douglas in the second quarter. Blue Devils have it. Goatley gets a step. Now off to Helton, the three-pointer in the air. Brought out of there by Surratt to Robinson. Tried to go into the middle. A little too much traffic in there, and Steffen comes out with it.
Every chance they get, they're off to the races.
Steffen guarded by Wade. Now they switch, and Wade has Goatley. And some bumping as Steffen tried to drive. That'll be a foul on Robinson.
We talked earlier about Henry Clay making those shots, and I think they haven't made them tonight. But we know if they hit 2 or 3, the tide can turn real quick.
Jalen Hill back into the ball game for Henry Clay, replacing Helton. He must have hit the sideline there, and that'll give it back to Douglas. Four and a half to go, second quarter. That lead still 12 for Frederick Douglass. Surratt will take the jumper. Goatley off with it. Now Henry Clay trying to run. Barrett, good one from the side. Can't connect. Broncos move it the other way.
And those are good looks. You just got to knock them down.
They'll set it up with Talbert out front, guarded by Goatley. Now a shot by Robinson off the side, and there's Wade to follow it in. 4 points for Thurman Wade, another of those Douglas football players who joined the basketball team and really helping out. Joined the basketball team a little bit late, but they are big parts of this team. Players like Wade and Bakari Talbot.
They seem like their legs are so fresh.
There's the lob. Surratt to Cohen. And we have called Nate Cohen's name a lot. A big game for him in this first half. 10 points for him. 31-15. Douglas stretching it out.
Maybe that talk from Coach Garvin has got these guys ready.
There's a nice shot off the right side by Jalen Hill. A three-pointer. Closes the gap just a bit. 31-18. Bakari Talbot driving hard. Got the left-hander to go.
I like that battle, Talbot and Goatley.
Yes.
And I think they both going to have to just really step it up to give their team a chance tonight.
Now Goatley backs it out of there.
It's a mismatch. Go around him.
Driving against Cohen. In the corner it goes. Running into some good defense as they start their drives, and now here goes Steffen to the basket, and he is fouled.
You know, the one thing about Coach Brown is he's trying a lot of his freshmen. You know, no matter how the game is going, they're getting valuable experience at this time, especially this time of the year.
Third team foul on Douglas, first one on Surratt, and Steffen is at the line. Jackson Steffen just 3 points so far, averages right at 20 a game. Dixon back in for Henry Clay and Kaysen for Douglas. Steffen finishes off the 2 free throws. 33-20. Under 2 minutes now left in the second quarter. We're at Frederick Douglass High School tonight, the second meeting of the year between Douglas and Henry Clay. Blue Devils won the first one 65-63 at Henry Clay 3 weeks ago. Nice pass, drop off on the baseline. Wade had it blocked, but got it back and made it the second time.
You know, they're just relentless right now in every aspect of the game.
Steffen starts a drive. Tough defense against him. Wade off to Talbot. That shot's blocked. And at the other end, that was Jalen Hill that got that one. He was way up in the air.
I'm trying to figure out what the call was.
Are they going to call goaltending? No, they're going to call foul. Foul on Hill.
Oh. Foul against Jalen Hill at his first. Talbot at the line for 2.
First team foul on Henry Clay. First one on Hill tonight. First team foul on Henry Clay here in the second quarter. 1:21 to go before halftime. Talbot at the line. He has 5 points in the game. Averages 8 a game. 55% from the line.
They need to get a good possession out of this one and get a good shot.
Nice pass inside, and Goatley drops it in. Good pass from Hemingway.
That was a little too easy. Like somebody missed an assignment. He was just floating in the middle of the paint.
Found himself open in there and dropped it in for 2 for Henry Clay. Under a minute to go now.
Double screen up top.
Nice drive by Talbot, but the shot doesn't fall. Here comes Hemingway for Henry Clay. finds Hill in the corner. But he got his own rebound after the miss. And then got it to Hemingway, who stuck it in there.
Couple of quick buckets by Henry Clay.
Closed it to 36-24. 15 seconds. Surratt on the move near the sideline. Guarded by Hill. 10 seconds. Here comes Surratt down the lane. Puts it up, and he is fouled. It'll be on Steffen.
In that situation right there, you might have to run somebody at him to get the ball out of his hand. He's too good a player just to try to go one-on-one and give him that much space.
Surratt to the line. Just 1 out of 3 for DeMarcus Surratt now. Has 5 points as we near halftime. 5 seconds left. Second one settles in there. Cohen comes back in as Henry Clay gets ready for this possession.
Against the Broncos. That's their first warning.
Delay of game warning is the call. Now 5 seconds starting to tick away. Goatley's pass knocked away. Ball is loose, and Goatley fires it up there at the horn, and that one falls short, and we have come to halftime. With the score, it is Frederick Douglass 37 and Henry Clay 24. We'll be back to begin our halftime report in just a moment on Glycon.
I think it's important to have a passion because it's important to have something that's bigger than yourself, that you find joy in, that you can work towards every single day. I would say that basketball has positively influenced my life greater than any other thing that I've done because it has allowed me to build so many great relationships, and it's taught me resilience and accountability and discipline and so many things that I use in life every single day. I've witnessed how drugs have negatively impacted people in my community, and I know that by pursuing my passion, I've been able to make positive choices that have helped me grow as a person and an athlete. If you're feeling pressured, I would just encourage you to stay true to yourself and not let others influence you to become something that you're not. It's okay to stand out and make choices that reflect who you really are. My name is Cassidy Rowe, and I'm better without it.
New recruit? Take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
Rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Man of War Harley-Davidson, your 100% Kentucky-owned and operated Harley-Davidson motorcycle dealership at 2073 Bryant Road in Lexington. Visit manofwarhd.com.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, Keith Elkins along with Nimbo Hammond. Scott Moore is our producer tonight, and Leslie Moore is our camera operator. 38-24 is the score as Frederick Douglass has opened up a 14-point lead, Nimbo, here at halftime. And they, as we talked about during the first half and then also during the pregame, they are doing the things that they like to do. They are getting out in transition and keeping the pressure on for Henry Clay. Coach Brown has tried a number of different things, but right now he's looking at a 14-point deficit.
Well, like you said, Douglas came out with the energy. I guess being on the road and having to fight for your life every night, yeah. You come in with a different kind of mindset, and you see that tonight. And then on the other end, Henry Clay has been really on a roll. Mm-hmm. So they probably came in a little lackadaisical and everything. So hopefully, they'll change that kind of mindset coming in. But Douglas will look good coming out, just doing what they do best. Get stops, and go in transition.
Yeah, it's 38-24 here, and we appreciate Fast Signs for bringing us our score ticker that you're able to keep track of several games from around Central Kentucky tonight. And we appreciate that from Fast Signs, and thank you for joining us on Glycod tonight. Again, a 14-point lead for Frederick Douglass at halftime. And Nate Cohen has had a big first half for the Broncos, leading them with 10 points. DeMarcus Surratt has 6 for Frederick Douglass. Dakari Talbert also has 6 for the Broncos. Terry Kaysen hit a 3 off the bench for Frederick Douglass. And over on the Henry Clay side, in the 24 that they have at halftime, 5 for Jack Hemingway and 5 for Ricky Goatley to lead the way. Jackson Steffen is really having to battle for everything he gets, averaging 20 points a game, but just 4 here so far tonight at the half, and they will have to find a way to get him a little more involved, I would think.
Well, I think it goes back to your point guards. We had talked during the break that I always believe your point guards has to be the one to be the coach on the floor. It has to be your energy. It has to get into your guys' chest and say, hey, we need you to step up. We need you to do this and do that. So I'm looking for Goatley to kind of step up the second half to give Henry Clay the boost that they need.
And, of course, we know Henry Clay's capable of making the comeback. We saw them do that at Henry Clay 3 weeks ago. They were down double digits in the second half and came back and ended up getting that win at 65-63. But another tall hill for the Blue Devils to climb tonight. It's 38-24. Frederick Douglass leading at halftime over Henry Clay. We'll take a break and come back and get ready to start the second half in just a moment on Glycod.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cardtown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be a million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Just about set for the start of the second half here at Frederick Douglass High School. We invite you to join Glycod in our quest to expand the visibility of today's student athletes through our free-to-watch platform. And please subscribe and tell a friend, as Glycod is changing the way you watch high school athletics. 38-24 the score. Frederick Douglass on top. We're just about to start the second half. And Nimbo, any final thoughts on the messages from these two coaches?
Well, you got to match the intensity, first of all. If I'm Daniel Brown, I'm telling my kids we have to, match that. Also, too, you got to start really attacking the paint more so you can get those open threes. The threes they've been getting have been contested. As far as Douglass goes, I'll say just keep doing what you're doing and keep going at them.
The Broncos brought the energy in the first half. Let's see what happens in the second half. Frederick Douglass will get the first possession to get things going in the third quarter. It's Thurman Wade to put the ball in play, and he'll throw it into Dakari Talbert, and we're underway.
We saw this last game where Coach Brown came out and started going zone a little bit, trying to mix it up.
They found Wade in the middle, shot blocked, and now Jackson Steffen retrieves it under the basket.
It's a good start to the third quarter.
Goatley guarded by Talbert. It's been a great matchup tonight. Ball goes out of bounds off Frederick Douglass, and Henry Clay will retain possession. They facing that 14-point deficit. It's important for them to get off to a good start in this third quarter.
Well, I think they need to go back to what they did in the beginning of the first game. Get something for Steffen in the paint. Get an easy bucket.
Two players get tangled up. And the foul will go against Tate Robinson of Douglass.
I think if they start making a inside presence to suck in the defense for Douglass, they'll get some open looks, and that may change some things. So they need to get that post presence established.
Pass comes out long to Goatley. There's Jalen Hill. Goatley and Talbert again.
The one thing Douglass is doing is every time that Henry Clay catches the ball, they're on the catch.
Right there, instant pressure on whoever catches the ball. Murray Garvin applauds his team's defense. Now a step back shot by Hemingway is left short, but there's Hill with the rebound and had to force it up there and went over the backboard. Did somebody block it? Guess not. It's going to go over to Douglass. And they reverse the call. It's going to reverse. They're going to reverse the call, and it'll be Henry Clay's basketball.
You know, as a coach, you always tell your kids to, on the offensive end, put your toes on that three-point line. But Douglas is doing a good job of pushing them off that three-point line.
He got it into Hill, and he went up immediately to lay it in, but the foul was called. Nate Cohen picks up his first. Second against Douglas in the third quarter. And 2 coming for Jalen Hill. He had 3 points in the first half, and now 1 for 1 from the line. Just 2 of 7 on the year from the free throw line for Hill. Second shot right there. And he is just a freshman, so I'm sure they're looking for big things from Jalen Hill as time goes on.
Well, like again, one thing about Coach Brown, he'll give you a chance. You just got to take advantage of your opportunity. And also it's a valuable experience going down this stretch.
They work it around the perimeter. Robinson lets it go and drains it. Tate Robinson, a dangerous shooter from out there. 43.8% on three-point tries.
Well, we talked about that early early before the game to talk about how well they shoot the three. But in the first half of this one, they got most of their points around the paint area.
Nice bounce pass on the roll, and got it to Hill from Hemingway, and Wade picks up the foul. Second one on Wade. Third one on Henry Clay, or rather on Douglas in this third quarter. And here's Hill back to the line. Good form, a good result. 41-27, Douglas on top. Just under 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Second shot will stay home. It's 4 for 4 from the line, 7 points for Jalen Hill, and it's now 41-28. On the baseline to Surratt, and he got it to Wade, but the shot's blocked. Wade picked it back up and stuck it in there.
I like the patience of Douglas right now in the half court.
Found the opening that time. Now a foul away from the ball, looks like. I think that'll go against Wade. So Thurman Wade picks up his third foul, and the fourth on Douglas in the third quarter. Inside, nice pass, nice offense, and a nice layup for Hemingway.
One thing I do like the energy of Henry Clay coming out this first third quarter. They're scratching and clawing right now.
Wade backs it out. So Douglas leading by 13. Be as patient as they would like here. There's the jumper by Wade. And tipped outside, and Hemingway's got it for Henry Clay. Hard drive by Jackson Steffen.
Well, I like the zone call by Coach Brown because it's kind of slowed Douglas down a little bit. And they're not being able to go in transition a lot, so it's good. A good adjustment in this halftime.
Second foul against Surratt, and the fifth against Henry Clay. Or against Douglas in this quarter, so Jackson Steffen will go to the line for Henry Clay. They're down by 13. And halftime score, by the way, was 38-24, not 37 as it originally was shown. They had found a free throw that was missed. The player hit 2 and was only given credit for 1 late in the first half. We're at 43-30 right now, though, as Jackson Steffen gets ready to step to the line for 2 free throws. Henry Clay into the bonus situation with 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Steffen's free throw kicks off to the right. He's normally a 66% free throw shooter. 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, you're seeing the aggression coming out. Now they get into the free throw line early. Now they're shooting. So that's what you want. You want to be able to score points sometimes without the clock moving.
Second one is good for Steffen, and now it's 43-31. Albert down the right side of the lane to Cohen, and then cutting down the middle is Surratt. Nice pass, nice layup.
The one thing I do like about Surratt, and I saw this the last game, he's doing things without the ball a lot, which is good. So he doesn't have to have it in his hands to score.
That one required some good movement, and then a good pass from Cohen. Now a good pass underneath, and the layup is good for Alan Dixon, his first scoring of the game. Good pass from Goldley. 45-33. Robinson takes it from Talbert outside. Pass tapped away, but Surratt went to get it. Now tapped away from Cohen, and the foul will go against Steffen.
Foul is against Steffen. That's his second.
Second one on Jackson Steffen.
I think they've switched their defense again. I think they're in a 1-3-1 now. So giving Douglas a different look to kind of keep them off balance. It has worked, though, so far.
Surratt finds Robinson open, and he drains another one. 2 threes in this quarter for Tate Robinson. He's got 10 points in the game, and the lead's back up to 15. Goatley pulls up for a jumper, and he's got it. Henry Clay takes a timeout. That comes with 3:05 to go in the third. The score, Douglas 48, Henry Clay 35. We'll be right back on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
(48-35) the score, as we have a timeout now with 3:05 to go in the third quarter. Douglas on top of Henry Clay. And Nimbo, what about the two teams' approaches here in the second half? We haven't seen a great deal of difference in the lead, but you said you liked some things that Henry Clay was doing, and now here's Douglas beginning to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, they're being aggressive.
Yeah.
And then you get into the free throw line. So that's the thing that you want. So now you're shooting the bonus early. Now, the one thing that Douglas did, they started hitting threes. So
that'll change the score in a hurry, won't it?
So as Henry Clay made their adjustments, so has Douglas. So two good coaching styles.
Yeah, Tate Robinson 2 threes in this second half, and that has helped hold off any comeback thoughts by Henry Clay, at least to this point. Coming up on the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. Douglas by 13. Inside, Kaysen back in the ballgame. Hands it off to Cohen for another jam. Kaysen to Cohen teamed up for the dunk. And there's a block by Cohen. He gets it back out in front to Surratt. Into the lane, dunks it there. And just like that, it's 52-35.
If you make a mistake against Douglas, they make you pay, and quickly.
Goldley leaves the left-hander a little short to Kaysen, to Surratt down the middle. Cohen, another dunk. And another timeout for Henry Clay, and Douglas has blown it open for now. 54-35, 2:13 to go in the third quarter. We have seen the Broncos explode with a series of dunks, and they now have a commanding 19-point lead with 2:13 to go in the third. And we'll take a break and come right back with more on Glycod.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
2:13 in the third. Now, Nimbo, the lead is 19 for Douglas, and we talked about how much they like to push it and get it out there, and just all of a sudden a series of plays resulting in dunks, and the crowd's fired up, and the home team's up by 19.
Well, when you advance the ball in transition, I think that's the best way to play because you stretch the defense open. And what Douglas has started to do is once they advance it, they hit the trail guy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they've been finishing around the point. Once they suck the defense in, here comes that trail guy, either in the half court and in the full court.
That also means people are getting to the right places, aren't they? They know where
Yes.
they're supposed to be and then executing.
Well, that's unselfish. You know, that's when you do things the way the coach designs it, that means you being unselfish and you're a good team player. And I think on that last play, I think Sherratt was the one who gave that pass to Cohen. So, you know, and that's what we talked about earlier. Your star players are doing other things.
Cohen has 14 in the game now. He's been right around the basket for much of the ball game. Blocks and dunks. Henry Clay taking care of the ball. They really need a good shot on this trip. Goatley was covered up by Cohen. Now Steffen back to Goatley. Got a step on his man and laid it in.
It's a lot of back doors that can be had against Douglas because they pressure you so much. And, you know, they've done it a few times throughout the game, just not enough. But right there, they made it connect.
54-37. Here is Robinson against Goatley. Drives it in there. Goatley got the block from behind. Scramble for the ball. Steffen came up with it, and I think Robinson will be charged with the foul. Here's Steffen at the line. First one came out. Now Jimmy Dick into the ball game for Frederick Douglass, replacing Tate Robinson. That was his third foul.
Henry Clay's going to need some unsung heroes to step it up and make some plays down this stretch.
Steffen with the free throw. Surratt to Dick and then back to Surratt. Coming to about a minute to go to the third quarter. Here's Surratt with a strong drive and then backs off against Steffen, and then the tip by Cohen.
That young man has been active all night.
Goatley pulls up for a jumper and hits it.
He's going to need to do more of that and be more active for Henry Clay to be successful tonight. He has to. That Goatley, that is.
56-39, final 35 seconds of the third quarter here at Douglas High School. Douglas led it 38-24 at halftime. Now they go after Talbert, and Goatley tips the pass and steals it. Pulls up for the jumper. Won't go, and they miss the opportunity there to get another two on the board. Long pass to Surratt, and he puts it in. Good long pass from Dakari Talbert to DeMarcus Surratt, and it's 58-39. The lead back up to 19. Jackson Steffen steps back for a three. Missed it, but the shot underneath is good by Isaiah Brown as time runs out in the third quarter. And the score at the end of 3 quarters of play here at Frederick Douglass, it is Frederick Douglass 58 and Henry Clay 42. And we'll be right back with the start of the fourth quarter in just a moment on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people. But Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt affordable. flexible with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Ready to go in the fourth quarter. Keith Elkins along with Nimbo Hammond, Scott Moore, our producer, Leslie Moore, our camera operator, Steve Bird, executive producer of Glycod, and we're glad to have you with us tonight as Frederick Douglass has a big lead as they try to cancel out that loss that they had at Henry Clay 3 weeks ago. 65-63 was the final that night as the Blue Devils staged a big come-from-behind effort and won that one in front of their home crowd. Here's Jackson Steffen. Gets it over in the corner. The shot there, not good for Helton, and the rebound comes to DeMarcus Surratt, and Douglas is on the attack, leading by 16, 58-42. Here's the shot, good, as Wade drains the three to make it 61-42.
They just can't do anything wrong tonight. You know, they're giving them the threes, and now they're taking them and they're making them.
There's Colton Helton back to Goatley. Nice bounce pass inside. Kai Paris bottled up, turns around though, got the shot away but missed, and Wade has it for Douglas. Thurman Wade down the middle and puts it up and in. He's got 7 in the second half, 14 in the game.
It looks like they're just starting to hit their stride. They look a lot cleaner tonight.
Douglas impressive, especially in this second half, but really vast majority of this ball game they've looked tough. And there's a steal. Robinson up with it, but there's a steal by Goatley at the other end. Got back and cut off that pass. Goatley's pass ahead, and the layup is good by Brown.
I think at this point in time, if I'm Coach Brown, you just got to try to go after it. You got to go find somebody who's going to fight for you, and you can put that best 5 in and go for it.
Thurman Wade dribbles outside. Surratt to Robinson, open again off the left side. Missed it this time, but there's Wade. Surratt down the middle. Timeout for Frederick Douglass. This time comes with 5:43 to go. And the score is Frederick Douglass 65 and Henry Clay 42. We'll be right back on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people. But Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt affordable. Flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, it is 65-44. They've corrected that score now, and we have back to action now at 21-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go. Seen a series of dunks by Frederick Douglass, and most recently that nice one by Surratt. You know, Nimbo, those dunks have been set up a lot of times. They've cutting down the middle, and a teammate hits them with a good pass and puts them in good position to go up and slam it home.
Well, you know, because you're playing inside out. Once you go in and you suck the defense in, they have to react to it. And, you know, and Douglas has done a good job of following the ball. You know, Surratt has done it. Cohen has done it. You know, Wade has done it. You know, so I think it's a formula that has worked for them tonight.
Surratt driving through the foul. Helton picks up the foul, his first.
I think when you play that way, you have to be unselfish, and they've shown it tonight. Everybody has a lot of touches.
That one's good. We mentioned before the game that Coach Murray Garvin was going to challenge DeMarcus Surratt, thinking that he could give a little more than he did in that first game against Henry Clay, which Henry Clay won. And tonight he's not having a tremendous scoring night, although he's doing pretty well. But he is full out all the time. It looks like I would imagine Coach Garvin's going to be pleased with.
Well, everybody has stepped up, so you know you don't have to do as much sometimes when everybody's playing their role. You know, some nights you're going to have to go do more to get your team through. Tonight is not one of those nights.
Goodwin sinks one from the corner, a three-pointer for Barrett Goodwin, his second three of the night. 67-47. Douglas in command tonight. 4.5 minutes to go. There's Dick off the right side, and that one spins out. Jackson Steffen finds Barrett Goodwin again, gets it away. Dick chases down the loose ball over in the corner. Back inside. Robinson puts it in going by, and he is fouled.
They're attacking the paint either by the pass or by the drive, and those guys are following that ball, and it's been the recipe for them all night.
Tate Robinson, a tough one from inside. Gets the basket, and he'll go to the line. Completes the three-point play. It's now 70-47. So come up on the halfway point in the fourth quarter. The steal there. Wade has it. Douglas again with the ball. We mentioned how the home crowd had gotten into it, and this is Douglas's first home game in nearly a month, since January 13th when they beat Bryan Station, and they were fired up in here that night.
Well, again, you know, when you got to go on the road to to play games, you find out about your team very quickly. And with that RPI for their schedule, what is it, 22? So you can tell they play some great competition.
Shot by Wade from the corner missed, and now the fast break is broken up. Dixon was down there in front but had the ball knocked away. There's Surratt driving hard for the basket. He is fouled. He'll go to the line.
It just seems like tonight Henry Clay's a half a step slow tonight. You know, in the last game we watched them play, they made some key stops, key moments. They just can't seem to get those string of stops together to get a momentum change.
Surratt connects. Unofficially now for him, that is 16 points, so he is headed for a good scoring night, a great scoring night. He's averaging 19 and a half a game.
And right
and
back.
There's two more as he got the rebound eventually and put it back in. Well, 18 for Surratt. And he's right at that average of 19.5. 2:46 to go. Long one off the left side. Good for Steffen.
I think that's the first clean look he's had all night.
His first three-pointer, just his second field goal tonight. Jackson Steffen, one of the leading players in the 11th region, but this is a tough opponent, and you feel that defense. And he's going to leave the game now with 2:41 to go and a 73-50 score on the board with Douglas in front.
Well, it's looking like Coach is making his subs and everything now. But this is the valuable time for those guys that's on the bench. You know, go out and play hard. This is time that you can get some time for the next game to come.
Here's Terry Kaysen driving. A collision down there.
You know, if I'm the coaching staff over there, Henry Clay, I'm coaching these guys up. Just make a decent effort for the last 2:26, and then you might find your hidden gem for the next games.
Got to make value out of these final few minutes, don't you? But even with the score as it is.
Yes, and you know these guys got to look at this. Can't look at it as the last 2 minutes. You got to look at it as an opportunity.
It's Jalen Hill with the jumper off the top of the key. Jalen Hill strikes for three. It's his second three-pointer of the night, and he's got 10 points.
Hasn't looked bad. The freshman hasn't looked bad tonight.
Nice pass underneath. That is Toby Robinson. Toby Robinson, a 6'1 sophomore. Makes it 75-53. Under 2 minutes to go. Driving is Paris in heavy traffic. Off it comes. Douglas running the other way. And there's Robinson again. Toby Robinson with the follow.
They just get into everything. You know, that's how you know the energy level is so different tonight. And sometimes it's just because it's a home game, but you always got to be ready for the challenge.
Jalen Hill again. This time he drives and has another field goal. Now we'll get more substitutions into the ball game. You see Cade Polk in there for Henry Clay, number 0, and Bernie Weatherby, number 22. Douglas subs as well. Here's A.J. Rhodes into the ball game. K.J. Jones is in there, number 2. He's got the ball now. Naz Gillespie, number 5, in there in white for Douglas. Gillespie gets it back out to Jones. Last minute of the ball game now. Jones driving, puts it up. Can't get it, but there's the follow. That one was Tavian Cotton who got in there for the follow shot. 6'2 senior gets on the board. Coming up on the final half minute, 79-55. Eli Harris fires and doesn't connect. Chasing it down was Cotton. He's headed for the other end. Goes out to the corner with it. Gillespie inside, and the shot up and in. A score for A.J. Rhodes. And now the long one off the right side, and that one is good. Got in there for Kai Paris. And that'll be the end of the ball game as they were firing them up there in the last 30 seconds or so. And it's going to be an 81-58 final. Frederick Douglass 81 and Henry Clay 58. And we will take a break and begin our post-game report in just a moment from Frederick Douglass High School on Glycod.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Your road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man O' War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man O' War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Cartown Kia, your dealership for unmatched design, performance, and savings at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville. Visit CartownKiaUSA.com.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, an 81-58 win for the Broncos tonight over Henry Clay, and just an impressive performance tonight, Nimbo, by the Broncos. Henry Clay won the meeting by 2 points at Henry Clay back 3 weeks ago, but tonight Douglass took command pretty early, and it was their game tonight. It seemed like they did what they wanted to do.
They were clicking on all cylinders from the beginning. I guess all those away games had them prepared coming in for the night, and they looked like they were ready.
They certainly were, and they played well as a team. I mean, we've seen them apply that pressure defense and get some transition baskets, but those dunks are always highlights, but it's especially nice when you see a guy along the baseline look for a teammate coming down the middle and sets him up well, and that happened several times tonight.
Well, you can see the great coaching that comes out in that, because sometimes in those situations guys want to look for themselves. These guys are sharing that ball and everybody's having fun, and that's what you want, especially going down the stretch. That chemistry, you want that chemistry to be strong.
Several players, good nights for Douglass tonight. Unofficial totals: Surratt with 18, Tate Robinson had 13 and had a couple of threes as Douglass was really beginning to break it open in the second half. Unofficially 14 for Thurman Wade, and another guy that we'll talk about here in a second, Nate Cohen, had 16 points tonight, and he operated well around the basket and using that left hand that he is so good with, his dominant hand, but he's so good with it, and he had just a real presence around the basket tonight, and his teammates set him up well too.
Well, I think they were intentional about what they wanted to do. They didn't come out, they're known for shooting the three, but tonight they didn't come out shooting the three. They came out feeding the paint either by the drive or by the pass, and they were successful.
Cohen, a 6'6" senior with those 16 points tonight. Thurman Wade 14 and Robinson 13. They were the ones in double figures tonight. worried about Thurman Wade. Of course, we see him really putting the pressure on defense. He's very athletic, very fast, getting up and down the floor. But he had 16 points tonight. He really contributed to that box score.
He reminds me of like a Dennis Rodman. If you forget about him, he's going to get the key tip in. He's going to get the key deflection. He's going to go baseline on you. He'll hit the three for you. So that's who he kind of reminds me of. He's that utility guy that gives them the energy when they need it.
With the win, Douglas goes to 14-6 on the year, and now 5-1 in 42nd district play. And for Henry Clay tonight, the loss sends them to 13-11, and they are now 3-3 in district play. They were led tonight. We can count them up here on the unofficial totals. Good game tonight for Jalen Hill, who scored well late, especially. Had 6, 8, 12 points for Henry Clay. Jackson Steffen, just 9 points unofficially tonight for Henry Clay's leading scorer, averaging near 20 a game. So he had a tough time with that Douglas defense tonight. We're going to talk to Coach Murray Garvin here in just a moment. Let's take a quick break, and we'll do that. We'll have Coach Garvin with us when we come back on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, Keith Elkins along with Nimbo Hammonds, and we're joined by Frederick Douglass coach Murray Garvin tonight after this 81-58 win. And Murray, it seemed like a very determined group of Frederick Douglass Broncos tonight, and that was led by the head coach. I think you really wanted to put one up on tonight after losing that game at Henry Clay 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I challenged the guys the other day in practice. You know, it's not many times you get to play a team that beats you. That's a good thing, being here at Frederick Douglass. But I wanted to see what our intensity level could get to, our level of focus for 32 minutes. Henry Clay is a very well-coached team, and tonight I thought our defensive effort was outstanding. Number one in guarding Jackson Steffen.
Nibble?
Yes, we talked about that earlier. You know, like one of my keys to success was contain Stephen Jackson without overhelping. I think you did that. He shot. We looked at the stats. He shot 3 for 13 tonight, and that really put them in a lull. So, was that part of the plan coming in?
I challenged Thurman Wade that over the 2 losses the past 2 years to Henry Clay at their place, Jackson Steffen is averaging 25 and 15. I told him he can't do that tonight. And our guys accepted the challenge. With high school basketball, it starts with the head of the snake. He's the head of Henry Clay's offense. You do a good job on him. The rest of them kind of follow his lead. And we did an outstanding job guarding him tonight.
Coach, you told me before the game that you had challenged DeMarcus Surratt, wanting him to have a better game than he had over at Henry Clay. And it's not a matter of go out there and score 30. It's a matter of go out there and bring the energy for the entire time. And we thought during the game that he certainly did that. He was intense tonight and ended up with a good scoring total anyway. And he really brought it tonight, don't you think?
Well, DeMarcus is the type of kid that he's going to get his points. You don't have to manufacture points for him because he's so elite in transition, his athletic ability. He's going to finish and ones. I wanted his intensity level to be a little bit higher. I wanted him to look like a Division I basketball player out there. He accepted the challenge. His teammates accepted the challenge. And again, it was probably our best 32 minutes of basketball that we've played all year.
Yeah, we up here while we were watching the game, we wanted to talk to you about the unselfishness of your team, especially in transition. So many guys touched the ball, and it seemed like they were having fun. Is that something that you preach, or is that something that just comes with the good chemistry of this team?
Well, it's something that we harp on. We have a tremendous talent here. And the best way to keep them happy is to share the basketball, to pitch the ball ahead, have fun attacking the rim in transition. I tell them a play doesn't matter, or a play doesn't care who makes it as long as it's a Bronco. And we're just teaching them about celebrating each other. And, Nim, you know this, that when you win, everybody eats.
Yes.
And a winning program is attractive to the next level. It's attractive to your community, and they've bought into that. But it's something that we have to emphasize every day because, as we all know, young people sometimes can be the disease of me. And we talk about it, we address it every day, and the guys did pretty well tonight.
After a long stretch of road games and the terrible stretch of weather that everybody's been going through, you come out and you give an effort like this tonight. I would think here we are in February, you got to be pretty pleased with where you are at this point.
Off camera, I'll tell you I'm pleased. But right now, Keith, I'm chomping at the bit. That's what my old coach used to say in Pikeville. I'm chomping at the bit. I want to play the next opponent. I want to continue to get better every day, stay unsatisfied. Sometimes as a coach, we got to be unsatisfied. And I told them tonight that we still got a list that we got to keep knocking them down. And games don't get easier because of the mental challenges that you may have, or the lulls that young people have sometimes. So we got to stay focused. We got a tough Sayre team coming in here Friday, and then Saturday we go over to Lexington Catholic. That's probably one of the hottest teams in the state of Kentucky right now.
So let me ask you a question. How did that stretch of you playing all those away games prepare you for the night and help you going down the stretch?
Well, when you go into tough environments, when you go over to Bryan Station, when you go to Sayre, when you go on the road up to Bracken County and you play a team out of West Virginia, it builds camaraderie because it's just you. We usually break the huddle saying just us, because it's just us in those environments, and you got to trust each other and you got to rely on each other. And then, Nimbo, what I try to do is I try to make practice as tough as games, or tougher. So when they get to games, they can relax because they've been in a tough practice and they've been challenged in practice. I don't like to show out on them during game day because young people can't take that anymore. It's a new generation. So when the doors are closed, I get after them pretty hard in order to get performances like this.
Well, Coach, it was a great performance by your team tonight, a great win for you. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you all. Congratulations.
All right, we'll take a break and be right back to wrap things up on Glycod.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
At Man O' War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man O' War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
I think it's important to have a passion because it's important to have something that's bigger than yourself, that you find joy in, that you can work towards every single day. I would say that basketball has positively influenced my life greater than any other thing that I've done because it has allowed me to build so many great relationships, and it's taught me resilience and accountability and discipline and so many things that I use in life every single day. I've witnessed how drugs have negatively impacted people in my community, and I know that by pursuing my passion, I've been able to make positive choices that have helped me grow as a person and an athlete. If you're feeling pressured, I would just encourage you to stay true to yourself and not let others influence you to become something that you're not. It's okay to stand out and make choices that reflect who you really are. My name is Cassidy Rowe, and I'm better without it.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Kentucky Army National Guard. Uncommon is calling.
Back to wrap it up at Frederick Douglass High School tonight, and let's take a look now at tonight's Most Outstanding Players, built by Carpenter's Local 1650. Build your next chapter. And Nimbo, we decided for the Henry Clay Most Outstanding Player, we go with the freshman, Jalen Hill. Showed some promise tonight, 6-foot freshman, and had 12 points to lead the Blue Devils.
Well, sometimes when you get your opportunity, your number get called, you have to make the best of it. You have to make the best of it. So, and I think he did. He didn't come out and make a lot of mistakes. He played within himself, and he made key shots when it was time.
And for the winning Frederick Douglass Broncos tonight, Nate Cohen, the 6'6 senior, had a big game, 8 of 9 from the field tonight, and he was operating around the basket, but he made it work and had 4 rebounds in the ball game, total of 16 points, and he was a big part of Douglass beginning to stretch out that lead there in the first half.
Well, he gave them energy out the gate. When you have an inside presence and a gentleman has the energy that he has and he finishes like he did tonight, they're going to be tough to beat down the stretch.
And DeMarcus Surratt led the Broncos with 19 points tonight, and 14 for Thurman Wade, 13 for Tate Robinson, and then 16 for Nate Cohen. And he is chosen as our most outstanding player tonight. Most outstanding players built by Carpenter's Local 1650. Build your next chapter. And before we say goodnight tonight, we'll take a look ahead. But, Nimble, let me ask you first, just any final thoughts on this one, the win by Douglass tonight?
Well, you got to see Douglas at their best. They played for 32 minutes tonight, and they're going to be scary. If they can keep this rolling, going down the stretch towards the district and the region, they're going to be a tough out. And for Henry Clay, I think sometimes you have these kind of games, especially after you've been winning, you find some other guys that you need to look into, and that's when we go back to the freshman, Jalen Hill. We saw him tonight. So Coach Brown will get those guys together, but he also found another hidden gem.
All right, well, Douglas wins big tonight, 81-58 the final. And coming up on Glycod, more exciting high school basketball action brought to you by New Vista. They see the good ahead. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock start for Lexington Catholic against Tates Creek. They're going to play that one at Dunbar. And that'll be tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on Glycod. And then Thursday night at 6 p.m., starting at 6, a girls and boys doubleheader, Woodford County at Anderson County. And Friday night, 6 p.m., girls and boys doubleheader, Bryan Station at Henry Clay. And then at 7:30, we'll be here at Douglas for the Sayre at Douglas game. So a lot of basketball coming up on Glycod as we get well into the month of February. That'll do it for us tonight. And for Nimbo Hammonds and for our producer Scott Moore and for our camera operator Leslie Moore and for executive producer Steve Bird, I'm Keith Elkins. Again, the final score is Frederick Douglass 81, Henry Clay 58. Good night from Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been Central Kentucky High School Basketball, presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. College for your world. Tonight's game was brought to you by Man O' War Harley-Davidson, 100% Kentucky owned and operated. New Vista, we see the good ahead. Tim Short Auto Plaza, take the short drive to satisfaction. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling. Elite Building Products in Nicholasville, where you'll find top quality products for your home. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires. Carpenter's Local 1650, build your winning career today. And by Suntime Pools and Spas and Apex Driving School.
Visit Glycod.com and follow us on social media for information about upcoming broadcasts and other high school sports content. Thank you for watching this live sports presentation